Hello friends, how are you? It's Kaushiki here. In last video, we talked about how and why I became a doctor. Now we'll talk about that how I became an obstetrician and gynecologist, why I chose it and how I chose it. So usually the MBBS is like 4.5 year kind of course, and then you have internship and you can do a housemanship in India. In my case, I was studying in Bihar, and at that point of time it was somehow notorious. The Bihar medical colleges were known that the sessions used to get delayed, the colleges used to get closed because of infights between the students. I mean, these are not good things to share, but then yeah, that was the fact. Sometimes the exams would get delayed, and so a course of mine which was supposed to have got completed in 4.5 years, it took more than that, almost 1.5 years. So I lost almost 1.5 years there. And I did my internship. So I did my internship partially in Bihar, and partially I did in an hospital which is in Delhi, which is Northern Railway Central Hospital. Why I did it in Delhi was because my parents by the time had moved on to Delhi, and it was the obvious choice. So I did the internship, but in internship I wasn't able to make up my mind which subject I liked most. For sure, obs and gynae was not something which was like my first preference. It wasn't, and again I'm being honest about it. But yeah, and then the next thing is that you have completed your internship. Now you're eligible for your entrance examination for the specialist training, and you appear for the entrance examination. And I appeared in both the state entrance examination, which is the Bihar examination, as well as the All India examination. And luckily, once again, in my first attempt itself, I passed through in both the exams. So I had the option of choosing a college and a specialty in Bihar, or through the All India PG to choose a college in different state, and the specialty obviously I could have chosen according to my All India rank. So while choosing the specialty, I was, as I told you earlier, that I was not very clear. In internship, I hadn't been able to make up my mind. Though the aunt factor came once again. She was an obstetrician and gynecologist, and as I told you, that she had a huge fan following amongst the patients and relatives and everyone. So though that was one reason there, but primarily it was my father, and I will tell you how. So then I talked to my brother, who was already a physician by that time. He had completed his MBBS, and he had done his MD. He's a neurologist now, but at the time he had done his MD in medicine. And we talked, and he was trying to rationalize that I can be a ENT specialist, because to him it fascinated that ear, nose, throat involves such microsurgeries, and you can do fine microsurgeries in the ear and everything. And to me also it seemed like, yeah, interesting thought. In my MBBS days, I was fascinated by pathology, particularly histopathology. So I wanted to be a histopathologist. To me, they look like heroes, like they're the ones who make the diagnosis of the disease based on which the surgeons used to do the surgery. Or I wish to become a radiologist, because the radiologists are the one who diagnose the condition based on which the surgeons or the physicians treat the patient. So that is how my thought process was going on. So as far as becoming a pathologist or radiologist was concerned, my brother was of the opinion that radiologist is still okay, but if I became pathologist, my interaction with the patients would be minimal, and I might not enjoy the whole process of becoming a doctor, because interacting with the patients, talking to them, knowing more about them, you can show your empathy, you can help them in so many positive ways, you can treat them that would be missing if you become the pathologist, though obviously the pathologists are the backbones. um, so but so I was thinking between becoming an ENT specialist and a radiologist, but there is where my dad put his, he used his veto, and he said that no way, you have to become a gynecologist. And his rationales were very different. I'm not saying they were right or wrong, it was based on his experiences. He thought that if I became a gynecologist, I would be dealing mostly with females, and that way he thought that I will be more protected, and that was his way of thinking and looking at the world, which is based on his experiences. And so he guided me in his way, and there was no way that I could have said a no to my father. If he had said that I had to become a obs and gynae person, I had to become an obs and gynae person. So and luckily for me, at my rank, it was possible to get a obs and gynae seat, which is very much in demand, because in India it's kind of a unsaid rule. It was unsaid rule at that point of time when I became a gynecologist, that the females, they will become a gynecologist, right? So as my parents had moved out of Bihar, so there was no point continuing me and taking the seat which I was getting in Darbhanga Medical College. I was getting a obs and gynae MD seat there, and the other option was go through the All India PG. Of the All India PG, I chose MD obs and gynae at Jamnagar Medical College, which is also called MP Shah Medical College, and that is how I joined MD obs and gynae, and that was through an All India PG in Jamnagar. Now there is something more to tell about it. I joined Jamnagar, and Jamnagar was far away from Delhi, and so I was having second thoughts. Once I reached Jamnagar, I was having second thoughts whether I would like to be so far away from the home. And even my dad was having that thoughts. He was the one who had taken me there to get my admission, and he was like, you can consider giving the exam next year and getting admission closer to the home, or continue. I mean, he was more in favor of me, repeating my exam and remain near home. But I was like, because the specialist entrance examination, they are really, really competitive in India. For that matter, any exam in India is very competitive because of the number of candidates that there are there. And I did not wish to take any chance, and just in case I was not selected next year. And in longer scheme of things, you realize that 1 year doesn't cost much, but when you are young, you think that you don't wish to miss even that 1 year. So I ultimately decided to continue at MP Shah Medical College, and I was there for 3 years, and that is where from I got my MD obs and gynae. And the 3 years that I spent in the MP Shah Medical College, that is in Gujarat, where I came to know Gujaratis, and a lot of my friends are Gujaratis. They were the best 3 years, one of the best 3 years of my life, and that is how I became an obs and gynae specialist. And so that was about it. And next time when we meet, I will talk about that how I became a IVF specialist. And yes, there are so many other stories in between which are quite interesting, that after doing my MD obs and gynae, what I did professionally, and how I came to UK, and then what made me leave UK and go back to India, and what made me leave India and come to Australia, and then again back to India. So we'll talk about all that, and I'm sure that will help you in some way. If you're an aspiring doctor, it will definitely help you, and even if you're not a doctor, still it will give you a perspective that everyone writes one's own story. There is no that a doctor has to follow this particular path. It's not so. You carve your own path, and believe me, all the stories, they are beautiful. There's no one parameter of success, and you define what success is. And we'll meet again. See you then. Bye bye.